Welcome back to Red, White, and Weekly. Join me, Kelly Haven, as I document each week in the year leading up to the 250th anniversary of our great nation's independence, the United States of America. Our semi-quincentennial is next summer, July 4th of 2026. This is episode 6. The first week of August in the year 1775. It is entitled Smoke and Whispers. August has arrived in the colonies, and the heat clings to every coat and corner. The voices of rebellion have grown more quiet for now, but don't be fooled. When war rests, it plots, and when the taverns fill with whispers, revolution sharpens its teeth. And even though August begins quietly, tension is building paranoia, pride, and political maneuvering. Taverns and letters become as important as rifles. Civilians begin to wonder, is peace even possible anymore? The guns may be cool this week, but the tempers are not. It's hot August now, and the crops are thirsty. The silence between cannon fire is beginning to feel suspicious. Patriots and loyalist sympathizers quietly share space. In a smoky New York tavern near the docks, the air is growing thick with suspicion, and a group of tradesmen raise their mugs, but only one dares to say aloud, "To King George, may he bring us peace." The silence is deafening. One man coughs into his sleeve. Another states, "Peace? What peace?" At a small table, a young militia sergeant whispers a name, Benedict Arnold. Not with reverence, with unease. Far from Boston, new fires begin to spark. In Virginia, Royal Governor Lord Dunmore continues to seize gunpowder from the colonists. And in Carolina, loyalist militia begin to form, but the rebels are watching and stockpiling. Merchant letters from Charleston to Philadelphia carry more than orders. One writes, "We may lose our port, not to the British, but to fire and to blood." In Cambridge, General George Washington rides through the camps with a stony expression. His letters home reveal his worry. "I find an army of brave spirits, but few trained minds. Supplies are scarce, discipline scarcer still." A New Hampshire soldier writes, quote, "General Washington looks as though he'd fight the entire war himself, if he had to," end quote. In these early days, the Army is more mob than fighting machine. Now, what's going on with John Adams and his molasses men, aka the Congress? Well, in Philadelphia, Congress debates everything except action. John Adams once again fumes in a letter to his wife Abigail. Some here hope still for reconciliation. Others are too afraid to speak of war. "I am surrounded by men more concerned with preserving their fortune than their freedom. I swear, Congress could debate the weather for a week and still forget to send out the mail." John Adams certainly continually held the feet of Congress to the proverbial fire, and it looks like someone had to. Now, a civilian letter from a widow. Quote, "My dear sister, I have put the children to bed with loaded pistols under their pillows, not for fear of redcoats, but of the loyalist boy from 2 farms down. He eyes our barn each morning, and I pray the wheat is all he seeks." End quote. Benedict Arnold waits in silence. He is a colonel now, brooding in a borrowed room outside of Boston. The men admire his courage. They fear his ambition. A captain tells his friend, quote, "Arnold's the type to storm hell with a pistol in each hand. But now he counts the spoils after." End quote. They wonder, is Arnold going to fight for liberty or only for his own glory? His plan to march on Quebec simmers. It's not yet approved, but it is whispered about in back tents. In Boston, General Thomas Gage surveys a city frozen in tension. Loyalist citizens petition him for protection, and British officers are patrolling the harbor by lantern light. General Howe writes, quote, "The countryside is silent, and that is what worries me," end quote. They know when the colonials go quiet, they are not sleeping. August may seem still, but it is the stillness of kindling catching. This week, the muskets were quiet, but the minds were not. A toast in a tavern, a letter from a widow, a general on horseback. These are the moments between battles, the breath before the shout. Revolution does not gallop, it coils, it hisses, and in weeks like this, it waits. Next week, we return to Philadelphia, where Congress, at long last, begins drafting a set of articles that will shape the backbone of the Continental Army, and we'll hear whispers of a wild and treacherous plan to take Canada. In Boston, a skirmish just beyond the British picket lines rattles nerves and reminds everyone this war may be young, but it is volatile. Join me again next week on Red, White, and Weekly for episode 7. Because freedom isn't born in declaration alone, it's hammered out in letters and blood. Again, I'm Kelly Haven. God bless you and the United States of America. See you next week.